to talk a little bit about the Ives Wanamaker lines, the Wanamaker railway lines. I believe Christmas of 1924, Ives did an exclusive for Wanamaker, John Wanamaker, in their Philadelphia store, we assume, only, to produce their entire line in this beautiful deep burgundy or dark brown. Here from their little standard gauge engine, the new 3235, which was introduced there in 24, to their deluxe 3243, and they produced all the cars in the same color. They also did their O gauge line on this beautiful deep rich color. And I'm sorry I don't have appropriate cars to pull. We're pulling the wide Ives cars, which are roughly from 24 also, and we're pulling a few circus cars from 29. But nonetheless, the cars seem to be almost as hard to find as the engines are. So beggars can't be choosers. So we have these two examples here. If you've not been to Philadelphia, I would get there pretty darn quick. This is the John Wanamaker store. It's absolutely mammoth. If you've never been inside, it's absolutely huge. It's across the street from City Hall. Opened 1910. Occupies basically most of a city block. But the real magic is inside. This is the atrium for the retail store. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's a temple to retail commerce. And right here, this is a pipe organ. Absolutely stunning pipe organ. And they give concerts now until, at least till the end of this month, twice a day, 12 o'clock and 5:30. So get to Philadelphia and go see a free concert. It's absolutely marvelous in this gorgeous space. Unfortunately, the store is scheduled to close at the end of February. Unfortunately, we don't have any photographs or ads talking about the exclusive line that Ives did for Wanamaker at the time, but we do have a few photographs of the toy department, which originally was like up on the 7th floor. And here's a picture from roughly 1947-48 showing the American Flyer exhibit. Mammoth layout, mammoth displays, and then, of course, toys and bikes and everything else. Just a huge, huge, huge toy section that they had. And this would happen year after year after year. Starting in the late 40s and through the 60s, they had a monorail that ran through the toy department to cage your children and then send them around the top of the ceiling while you secretly purchased their gifts for them while they were occupied up a high. Of course, children being children, they did nasty things, throwing things out of the car, so of course this had to come down, and the lawyers would have a field day with this today. So anyhow, this is now in a museum on display. So I encourage you to go to Philadelphia and see the old Wanamaker store, which is now Macy's, and unfortunately closing the end of the month. So a little bit about this little 3235. When Ives introduced standard gauge in 1921, they're going for the high end. They had the 3243 here, which was a 12-wheel engine, which raised the bar quite a bit for standard gauge. Lionel was still just selling their old 42, which basically had been introduced in 1912. So this was quite a step up. So, but it was the high end. So Ives was going for the high end market. They didn't have an entry-level engine. So they needed to get something with a little lower price point, and that was this engine. This engine came in 24, and this was going head-to-head and sold for less money than the Lionel 33, which had been around since 1912. So Ives was going for the juggler on Lionel by bringing this little engine in, undercutting Lionel. Funny little box cab, and of course Lionel, the leader of the pack, would follow from behind the following year, introducing the 8 with their little box cab. But this is basically why they introduced the 8. So again, without further ado, we'll run them around a little bit more. Hopefully someday I'll have some appropriate cars to pull behind here. The cars may not have been as popular as the engines, because if you had freight cars all this color, it might be a little boring. So the customers may have opted to buy the more colorful standard freight cars other than just the standard Wanamaker colors.